It's not thunder and lightning, dude. It is literally a missile that they're using. Okay. Yeah. What about JD Vance? Brother, I promise you I'm going to get to every single thing, okay? And we'll talk about Iran too. We'll also talk about Russia's new, or maybe not new, but like old weapon that they utilized, which was the most insane thing I've ever seen. Yes, this Oreshnik thing is as nutty as people say. The answer is yes. The answer is not only yes, but the answer is fuck yes. It is one of the most insane things I've ever watched. It is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. It literally is a shotgun lightning blast. It looked like a shotgun lightning blast. I think the West is pretty far behind on hypersonics and just like missile like mid-range missile capabilities that like clearly Russia has focused tremendously on. It's not even, I don't even think what they used was a hypersonic there, but I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. America's like falling behind on drone warfare. Like all of the stuff that people use to exhaust the resources of the enemy, whether it be drone warfare or whether it be like hypersonics, and you know, mid-range missile capabilities, shit like that. It's pretty fucking wild. Please show us what you saw. Does anyone have a link to it? I know Osin Twitter was all up and down this thing. They were talking about it quite a bit, and I saw it on my timeline last night. But they basically lasered like a natural gas depot or something in the Polish border with Ukraine, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I know a lot of the NATO Andes and NatSec Andes will know a lot better than I'm a layman, okay? I'm a fucking layman. I'm a commoner. I'm a peasant, okay? And I need you to understand, I'm going to give you this, like, I don't have the missile autism. Like, I have politics autism. I don't have missile autism, right? I'm not a missile autist. You know this. I just need to, like, this is what I saw. And as a fucking peasant with a peasant brain, when I saw this, I was like, this looks like divine punishment. Like this, if I know everything about, you know, modernity, I live on the internet, right? I know technology. I have a decent understanding of like how weapons look like and how explosions look like. I've been looking at them nonstop for like the past 2 years, especially. I've never seen anything like this. Look at this. Look at that. That is not manipulated footage. That's not manipulated footage. Like, that's just what it looked like. It's not thunder and lightning, dude. It is literally a missile that they're using. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe what's his face? What's the fucking guy that looks like a wizard that Putin, Dugin. Maybe Dugin is a wizard. Maybe he doesn't just look like a wizard. Maybe he unironically is a wizard and he's figured out how to summon lightning or something. I don't know. Jew here, that's our space laser. I mean, let's be real. If it was a Jewish space laser, it wouldn't shock me if Vladimir Putin was able to utilize it. Okay. Before people get on me and say like, no, he's a based anti-imperialist or whatever, and he's like the #1 ally of Iran. Vladimir Putin is a Mr. Both Sides on every conflict, okay? Remember that. This is the moment Russian drones blitz Kyiv in the most damaging attack on the Ukrainian capital to date. But this is just Kyiv. This is not what I'm talking about. This is the drone. So they did a drone swarm on Kyiv. And then they also simultaneously did, this is not the attack that I'm talking about. The attack that I'm talking, wait, why do you not support Russia? Brother, why do you think? I mean, what are you talking? If any of these countries were honest, if any of these countries were just, if any of these countries were legitimately invested in anti-imperialism, for example, they wouldn't be doing this in fucking Ukraine. Okay, or at least if you want to deal with Ukraine not being a country that is in your ass cheeks, being in the sphere of influence in the West, there are probably a million different methods before you invade the country militarily and overtake it by killing, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, both your own citizens and the citizens of Ukraine either. Okay, I'm not going to get into it though. Like I understand why the third worldist position here is, you know, fuck America, and therefore they're on board. You know, therefore you're on board with like whoever is like at least crazy enough to like attack America and do proxy wars with America. And Russia is the only game in town. If that's your primary focus, it makes sense that you'd be like, yeah, no, Russia is still, you know, it's not great that they're punishing the Ukrainian population over it, but like they are the only country insane enough to like punish America or try to get into a long, extended conflict with America to a certain degree, except America doesn't get fucking harmed in this process. Let's be real. So, regardless though, this is part of the reason why it's like ridiculous shit, and he shouldn't be doing this. If he was the real anti-imperialist hero that people present him as, he'd be giving a fucking nuclear warhead to Iran and Cuba and to Venezuela, and then also I mean, he'd be doing USSR shit. He'd be Brezhnev, right? Like it is not. He's not doing any of that. He's doing this instead. So give me a fucking break. America's already raping Ukraine by selling all of it to Blackwater and resources. Ukraine is so fucked, it's sad. No, absolutely. Yeah, people are like, oh, Putin is so based. He's a based anti-imperialist. Like, and I understand how you are like trying to come to terms with that argument, because like, you know, if your position is like America is basically behaving like the Fourth Reich, which, you know, let's be real, it kind of is. Okay, it definitely is. Then you're like anyone and everyone that is like damaging America's impact around the globe in any way, shape, or form, or hemorrhaging American resources, exhausting American resources on my side is good for me. That's the reason why a lot of people feel the way that they do. Having said that, it's not an accident that like Duginists and all these other like fucking pro-Russia people are also pro-Russia, pro-Russian, like pro-Tsar. They're Tsarists. They're fucking pro-Russian Empire. They're not like, they're anti-USSR. They're anti-communist. It's very stupid. Anyway, their ideology in this circumstance doesn't really matter, though. I was talking about something that is completely irrelevant to the conversation, which is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like I said, that this is the drone swarm that they did in Kiev, which is, you know, that's drone swarms. But that's like what is surprising about this attack, I think, is that it, according to, Russia hits Ukraine with rarely used Oreshnik missile in fresh strikes. What is unique about this strike is that it kind of caught, from what I understand, any news today, newsman, brother, what do you think we're doing? We're looking at the BBC. It kind of caught people off guard. Like it caught the Europeans off guard as well. Like, why is Putin not giving Oreshnik missiles to Iran? Where is my based anti-imperialist? Where is my based anti-imperialist? Like, give these missile systems to Iran. Give these missile systems to Venezuela. Like, what the fuck's going on here? You know? Also, this was one of those moments that I think like missile autists love missiles so much that although most missile autists are like, obviously all the MilSim, all the NATO Andes, they all despise Russia. They are, even the missile autists that I see that fucking hate Russia were in awe of the prowess of this thing, like whatever this is. Or, I mean, I was surprised personally, but I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know anything. But the missile autists love missiles so much that they were like, damn, this one was crazy. Yeah, even the OSINT LARPers were scared about this, considering that they like could, I've seen, this is the one I saw. Even the OSINT LARPers were like, this is the most insane thing. What the fuck is going on? And it seems like none of the European, none of like the, at least according to what they were saying, none of the European trackers actually saw this ahead of time. This is what I saw though. This footage is insane. Look at that. Bro, that shit is so fast that people in the vicinity don't even understand what's going on. Do you understand? Like is the audio coming after the fact? Because it's so fast, like I don't even understand. Speed of light versus sound, yes. Yeah. I'm stupid. I'm telling you, this is the first time I felt like a medieval peasant. Okay? Watching this was the first time I, honest to God, felt like a medieval peasant. Like I literally, if I saw this happening in the real world, I would automatically get down on my knees and be like, I'm so sorry, God is real. And it turns out there's multiple of them. Zeus is very clearly mad. Like I would immediately drop. If I saw this happen in the real world, in my vicinity, I would think to myself, oh my God, oh my gods, okay? Didn't mean to offend. Clearly, monotheism is bullshit. There is no one God. There are multiple. One of them has the power of lightning. His name is Zeus. I mean, look. r/atheists hate this one simple trick. Yes. This is all from one missile too, right? It just like, I don't even understand exactly how this works, but from what I understand, it just like straight up turns into like multiple warheads right before it gets the impact. Like right before it drops, right before the moment of impact, it turns into like multiple warheads. Right? It opens up multiple warheads. Sound travels about 700 feet per second, give or take a few feet. The article you had before explains this. So yeah, Russia had used the Oreshnik ballistic missile as a part of a massive overnight strike on Ukraine. 4 people were killed and 25 others injured in Kyiv on Thursday night, where loud booms could be heard for several hours, setting the sky alight with explosions. It's only the second time that Moscow has used the Oreshnik, which was first deployed to hit the central city of Dnipro in November 2024. Russia's defense ministry said the strike was a response to a Ukrainian drone attack targeting Vladimir Putin's residence in late December, which Kyiv denies carrying out. While the ministry did not specify what had been the Oreshnik's target, shortly before midnight, videos began circulating on social media showing numerous explosions in the outskirts.
This is the Oreshnik missile, a state-of-the-art weapon system launched from a massive 12 by 12 truck platform. It has been meticulously engineered with multiple stages, enabling it to reach orbit in a few minutes. But what sets it apart from all the rest? Well, this missile can hit hypersonic speed. Once it reaches this altitude, it transitions into a steep dive, accelerating to hypersonic speeds.
Wasn't the Putin attack fabricated by Russia? I mean, do they even need to fucking fabricate a cause for why they're, striking Ukraine at this point? They literally do it every day. I don't know. Like, I'm inclined to believe it. I'm inclined to believe that it's like, because they just don't even need to like fucking, at this point they just do it. They just do it and they go, fuck you, we did it. I'm more inclined to believe that they did this as a response to like, I guess, America overtaking like a Russian flag tanker. And flexing on them, and maybe even flexing on Europe potentially for if it's actually a natural gas depot that was used for European gas, like transiting European gas, something like that. I don't know.
During its descent, the missile's fairing opens to unveil 6 highly sophisticated warheads. Each warhead is equipped with miniature thrusters at its base. These thrusters enable the warheads to maneuver dynamically even as they fall under the influence of gravity. It can change directions, making it almost impossible for the Patriot missile to hit its target.
Yeah, they don't care. They kill civilians all the time. So it's just like, I don't even know that. It kind of feels like people being like, oh, well, this action is giving Vladimir Putin more opportunity to take Ukraine. It's like, bitch, have you not been paying attention to the news? I don't think he cares whether America is being hypocritical or not. He's doing it regardless. You know what I mean? Like, it's been years, guys. I don't think Vladimir Putin is making that calculation like, well, surely I'll be able to defend my actions in Ukraine because I can just point to American hypocrisy. Like, I don't think he cares. He's not really stopped attacking Ukraine.
The missile design incorporates 3 distinct stages. The first stage consists of mobile thrusters, which help move the missile, and it is filled with solid fuel. Just above it is the second stage, followed by the third and final stage, which holds 6 warheads, each with their own engine.
They got a little fucking
This design
ladder in there?
enables
That's
the missile
crazy.
to deliver a powerful payload over long distances with remarkable precision, weighing up to 50 tons at launch and carrying the warhead payload of 1.3 tons. The Orishnik missile has a range of 4,000 to 6,000 kilometers. This is capable of hitting all over Europe.
Yeah, that's fucking okay. That, like, when I see stuff like that, I understand why the Euroids are so fucking afraid of Russia. When I see things like that, I do kind of understand why the Europeans are so fucking terrified of Russia. Like, it's not even like remnants of USSR fears. It's is this nuclear? Can you put nukes in this payload? No, right? There's no shot. You can? Okay. All right. Well, guess what, dude? I get why every single time European liberals come into my chat and they're just like freaking the fuck out anytime Russia does something. That I would not be. I mean, Turkey's in the fucking strike distance, clearly, as a NATO country. But Erdo Goat is Mr. Both Sides, always come out on top. So maybe he won't use this on. Maybe he won't use this on my family in Istanbul or whatever, right? He certainly could if he wanted to. If Erdogan got a little crazy and was like, oh, we're shutting off the Bosphorus, you know what I mean? We're the table. We're shutting off the Bosphorus. No more fucking, no more travel for you through the Black Sea. All of a sudden, zap.
What's particularly fascinating is that this missile is equipped with a sophisticated MIRV, multiple independently target-able reentry vehicle system, capable of deploying approximately 6 warheads. These 6 re-entry vehicles are reportedly based on American designs. Although much of the technical information remains classified, here is what we know so far. The missile itself is
Do
launched.
you think the Europeans are unarmed peasants? They're not scared that Russia has an unbeatable weapon. The destruction of Europe is inevitable with conflict. These kinds of weapons just show the scale that they can inflict. Both sides have destructive weapons. Wait, what? Canadian twin. In modern day and age, you don't want these kinds of things being deployed at all. That's the whole point. And that's why you don't want to get into a tit for tat, okay? That's why we do this whole, like, that's why we do the whole no war, just peace, okay? That's why we do that. It's the point. The point is no war, just peace. Just peace, no war for this reason, okay? This is the reason, because why would you entertain this kind of stuff? The weapons that you have are there so that you never have to use them. That's like supposed to be the principle. This is the principle, at least in state, in the development of states. The principle of mutually assured destruction is what keeps, additional war at bay, I guess. Right? No war. No war, just peace. And yes, we are, as far as I understand, we are very behind on our hypersonic tech, partially because if you look at it in like video game terminology, it feels like we just did cruisers, and hypersonics are like basically anti-cruiser technology, where it's like you want to keep cruisers at bay. So they were just like, we have fucking aircraft carriers. Who gives a shit? We have cruisers, aircraft carriers. We don't really give a shit. Like, this is our game is aircrafts. So, you know, that's our technology focus. That's what our technology focus has been. And meanwhile, the hot battle in these sorts of conflicts have changed to drone warfare, exhausting, attrition, and hypersonics as well. Hasan, you don't know what you're talking about. Please shut the fuck up. Look, I don't know anything. I will readily admit I don't know anything. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm getting from people who do know things, okay? I'm not going to put you down. I'm going to shake you. You can tell me if I'm wrong. That's why I started off by saying I'm not entirely correct on this. Like, this is what I have heard. I think it's very biased to ask Russia, why don't they give nukes to other countries? They're anti-imperialism, but nobody else in the world gives nukes to help any other country. Everyone is the same. What the fuck are you talking about? There is one country that has definitely given nukes to other countries under what is known as NATO. It's the United States of America. The fuck? There's literally nukes in Turkey right now in the Incirlik base. There are American nukes in Turkey right now. So no, you're actually wrong about that. I mean, obviously those nukes are not in the control. Those nukes are not in the hands of Turks or whatever, but like there's nukes in the Netherlands. There's American nukes all around the world. You're wrong. You're also there was at least missile systems and maybe even nuclear warheads potentially in other places that are fairly close to the United States of America in the past with the USSR. And it's not giving nukes. You guys are just placing them there. Yeah, I mean, whichever way you cut it. Can you please stop saying the second N word so much? Naperville? All right. Anyway, this is, briefly, I wanted to just talk about this, but yeah, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And it truly made me feel like a goddamn medieval peasant when I saw this shit. That's it. That's all I wanted to show you. So, we obviously have the phone camera footage that these guys actually leaked to a local